Hello and welcome to another episode of Story Behind the Story. With me is TTAG President Nilesh Shah. Nilesh, welcome. And Jack
Thank
Sukija,
you.
also a leading
Thank,
hotelier and restaurant owner. Hi, Jack. Welcome. Uh,
Hi, thank you.
because of this lockdown, the tourism industry is in doldrums. Basically, it's not moving. It's just stuck, at least in a major part of the state. So, Nilesh, if I could start with you, could you give us a small brief exactly what is the status of the travel industry, the hotel industry, the generally what is the status as of now?
Now, as all of you are aware, the tourism industry is in very, very bad shape. In sense, the worst affected industry among all industry throughout the world, not only in Goa, but throughout the world is the tourism sector. So there are very lot of verticals in tourism sector, as all you are aware. It is airline, it is hotels, travel agents, tour operator, and the restaurant. All of them are affected in big way. Now, to be specific, to be Goa, almost we have lost already 40,000 jobs in this sector, and there will be more to follow if industry does not, respond to the means if industry does not open up way we are looking into it. Uh, as you are aware that when tourism Goa is concerned, it is not only the hotels or travel agents or tour operator which are affected. Now Goa is indirectly connected uh, to different population. Like as per our estimate, 1,40,000 families are connected to tourism. So that means we are talking almost 6 lakhs plus people who are depend on tourism, right from taxi drivers to people working in the hotel industry, travel industry, tour industry, working as guides, so that all are affected in big way. Unfortunately, we have not got any relief from the government.
Okay,
We
now
are
Nilesh,
asking
let's
for.
move on to that a little later. I want to bring Jack in.
Okay.
Jack, now you also run a restaurants. You're in the also in that restaurant. So, how badly is this restaurant line affected?
So basically, I think restaurants were allowed to be open from 8th June. I run a small restaurant. There has been no business at all for our restaurants. So if you're talking of a 100-day lockdown, then you're looking at opening up. There were takeaways. Some restaurants did okay, but the general trend when they say up to restaurants is 70% or so are going to be hit very badly, and 50 to 70% won't restart. In Goa, there is a little bit of business. Like if you look at popular joints like Tatos or Bosle's and all, I think they're doing 30% of their business. If they were earlier operating three, four outlets, only one or two are open. So overall, it's been hit very badly. And but at least it started. So we're going ahead. There's some positivity that we will start again. We have been It's like an engine which has been jammed, and right now we are just in first or second gear at best.
Nilesh, now getting back to you. Now, Jack has given us a general idea about the restaurants. I think, I don't know, only Swiggy, some takeaways probably are starting. Nobody wants to go and sit in restaurant, at least most people. Now, tourism. Now, a lot of tourists, according to the Kalangut MLA and many, no, there is booking, there is this. So could you tell us like that, is this enough? Like we are talking about the government now, is this enough? Making a few statements here, no, we want to start, we are giving permissions, we are doing this. Is this enough for you all for to see? Like Jack said, I absolutely agree. Jam, it's a dead weight. So to restart the process, it's going to need a push. Now that push has to come
Okay.
from private entrepreneurs, or the push has to come from whom? Whom? If you could
I,
tell us.
that is a good question. The day one when we started or when we were about to start, what we are talking about is a positive messaging. Now, this positive messaging has to go from all front. It has to be from the government. It has to be from the industry in Goa and everywhere. Now, just for example, unless tourist or any customer feeling safe, is not going to come into Goa. So the message has to go that we are safe in Goa and we are welcome in Goa with the smiling face. Now I'll just say the messaging part of it, one part. like the day we announced that Goa is opening, you saw that in all the news channels throughout India, all newspaper, that Goa is opening back for tourism. So that is a positive message which has gone, that Goa is open up. So that is the key. The messaging, which is that positive messaging, which is very key to the starting of the industry. Let's admit it that, as Jack said, when the restaurant started, the business is not coming up. Similarly, the business is not going to big time. July every year has been very low for the tourism industry. So this is the time wherein once it is open, it is like learning experience for, because we are starting from scratch. Learning experience for the industry as a whole to start somewhere, and slowly it will grow up. So then you are gearing it up for more tourists to come in, maybe in August, September, October, as seasons pan out. So this is a July is a least time, and this is a time to start.
I don't know, from where I see, we are not in the tourism line, we are basically observers. Now, from where I see that there is a danger of people just walking into Goa, because the people, the better quality people, if they come, they will be selective, they will not go to hotels, probably they'll book villas. This is from what we see. The people with money, or they may wait for the 4 and 5 stars to open. But the general crowd that is coming into Goa, which we are seeing for some time, couple of years, 60-70% of the tourists, is that not a little dangerous? Because if the cases keep on rising, and if tourists are found positive, God forbid, and then would not that be the way you open the business so haphazardly? Would not that be what do you say, a double whammy on the industry? What do you feel?
Okay. See, when the industry started, there are a lot of SOPs which government has put in. Now, one of the SOP which they are putting is, of course, that compulsory testing. If you don't have 48 hours testing done, it is compulsory testing. So that is one screening. Now, second screening which they have done is that any customer coming into, any tourist coming into Goa has to have a compulsory booking done before entering into Goa. And he cannot, just do the booking. It has to be with the guidelines, with the tourism, Goa tourism department guidelines, wherein the hotels which they have opened up. So only those hotels have been allowed to function. So that is how we'll keep a track of it. And let's be, realistic that nobody will like to risk their life unless they feel safe. Nobody is going to come. It may be the lower segment of tourism or very high tech segment of tourism. So the way the SOPs have been put in, I think I'm quite confident that we can handle the slow and calibrated manner which way we have started this tourism into Goa.
Maybe Jack, to bring you in on this, maybe July is a very slow month. Maybe possibly the government and the hotel industry is has got some logic, because they can slowly start implementing the SOPs and all that. What do you feel that is that probably the plan of your industry and the government? That's why they started in July.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I would fully agree with that. July is a very slow month, and it's a great month to do a pilot. So what basically is happening right now is like a pilot study to see how we can manage opening up in a phased manner, see what the impact is going to be and on. And as of now, the SOP for a tourist entering into Goa is very stringent. You have to have either a test done 48 hours before you come, or you have to have a test on arrival. Till then, a hotel has to have an isolation room. So I think this is a great case, great way of going about it. We do know that even the best hotels are not going to expect more than 5% occupancy or 10% occupancy for these 2 months. But it's a way to get, it's like I said, a car which has been stuck. You're restarting it and you're seeing how it will cope as it goes along.
Now, specifically on the restaurant line, now you guys, the restaurants have started deliveries now from, I think, 8th, some time back now they've started seating also. So now anything different that you all are going to be looking at to bring in customers, to give the customers confidence that no, it's okay, you can come, you can sit, you can have a meal. Are you all doing something different from earlier?
So If the question is to me, basically what has been done is SOPs have been put in place for restaurants also. One
Yes.
is you need social distancing. You're working at 50% capacity. Tables have been spread. At the place of entrance, you have sanitizers. You're supposed to wash. Your waiters are coming with masks. There's as little contact as possible with the customer. So that is, like I said, it's a trial. This is what is going on basically. And I think worldwide now, the three things, the way to combat COVID is quite clear. Or at least at this moment, the strategy which is being employed is one is social distancing, keeping as much distance as possible, which in a restaurant is 3 to 6 feet between each other. And the second thing is wearing masks. And third is trying to be as away from closed places as possible. I think most restaurants are following these protocols, and that's the message which is being sent out.
Now, Nilesh, I want to get back to you now. A lot of restaurants, as Jack has said in the earlier answer, a lot of restaurants and hotels, the smaller ones, they are in bad shape, and because basically it's they work season by season, month by month. Now, as a travel agent and as the right now heading TTAG, how will you stop see a tourist comes to Goa? Why? He's not coming to Goa to sit in his room. He's coming to Goa to eat, to drink. How you guys going to take this tourism forward? Because I don't think anybody's, at least the government side, they've thought of it, because the very contradicting, very funny statements are coming out from everywhere.
I agree truly that it is a very evolving process, and the way it's so dynamic, the things are changing on daily basis. The best part means as I'm into travel and as a tour operator, I can think of we have to evolve ourselves, change in our strategy, and be a little bit more creative in attracting the customers. Like throughout India, now airlines have come out with the cancellation charges are not going to be there for quite some time. Means if you can book and if you are going to cancel till X time, then they will not charge you anything. Similarly, the hotels, they have come out with that you can book, and even if you cancel, we'll give you the credit, you can utilize that. Secondly, the main thing will be the pricing, the value which your customer is going to get. So that is going to be the key. As far as star hotels are concerned, I think once they start, they will be first to pick up, because their value which they will be able to offer to the customer will be one of the best in last few decades, I will say.
Okay, now let's go into a short break. Keep watching. Welcome back. Now, let me start with you, Jack. I'm just adding on to the point which Nilesh brought in just before the break, that it's going in for good deals, good discounts, and all that. Now, you have a restaurant, plus you have a lot of this in on that side. So, is it going to be just discounts, or some people have given discount but reduce the quantity? But is it going to be discounts? Are people going to be encouraged to come to restaurants to move in because of the great deals that are going to be given? And mind you, at least as of now, this is without any hot drinks.
That's a good question. I think if people use discounting, basically that's going to be the hook to get people, to induce them to come out. But safety is going to be paramount. Everyone's going to look to be safe. There's been such a perception created about COVID and the effects. So people are first going to look at safety. Discount is an add-on. It sort of gives you an advantage in coming in. And definitely if someone is offering it, he has an advantage over someone who is not. So it's going to be something on, but safety is going to be the main issue here.
Now, this question is for both of you all. Jack, you can start first, and then Nilesh in, because it affects both. Now, Jack, a restaurant in Goa, I'm not talking about in Goa, a restaurant has to have some liquid refreshment at the side. Now, I don't want to get into the details of the liquid refreshment, but without that, be it a Goan or be it a tourist, be it anybody, he wants something. He's not going to sit, he's not going to be very happy with water or whatever. So, how much of a challenge is that going to be up till the government opens up? This is for both. First, you, Jack, and then Nilesh, because tours people also come in from there. So, Jack, if you could give us some how you intend to cope with this, because you have to, as of now at least.
It's a huge setback. I mean, not having alcohol in Goa is a no-brainer. It's a huge setback. The government of India, in its wisdom, has not allowed people to open up on it. Even now, in the rest of the metros, people are Swiggy and all restaurants allowed to home deliver liquor. Here, it's not allowed. So yeah, it's a huge setback. I hope going ahead, maybe a couple of months ahead, or at least maybe by end August, they look at opening it up, and it will definitely help in getting people out.
Nilesh, for your tours, people coming to Goa.
In fact, that was one of the requests gone from our side when they were starting the hotels, that to allow the bars to start along with the restaurant, because that is the key for Goa, as all of you we are aware of it. Now, every time, Goa government say we are following the MHA guidelines. So I hope they have requested on top to, to relax on that bar. And I believe other states also have requested to allow bars to be open. So I think in the third lockdown, hopefully, we are hopeful on second lockdown we'll have more opening. But I think by third lockdown we'll have more opening on that. Besides the hotels which have started, they are allowing people to, they can carry your own bottles and have it in the room. So that is one thing which, how the hotel industry has, they'll have to cope up with it and open with that. You can bring your own liquor or you can buy a bottle and you can get a drink in your room. So, somewhere it's not easy answers for this, because Goa means, it is all these things are linked to tourism. So hopefully, in only the answer to me, what I find out is only that third lockdown will have more unlocking of the bars in Goa.
Now, Nilesh, for you now, you are people are going to people are approaching you. I'm sure for tours, come to Goa. People don't ask you, "Arey, oh, chalu hai, bar chalu hai, restaurant chalu hai." They don't. You don't get this little off this, but don't you get such queries, such inquiries?
Frankly, the business is so bad. Now, what queries? What personally as a business, what we have got the query is, for some weddings they want to have in month of December,
Okay.
or some booking. So in immediate, there is no query as such. But I was just talking to the hotel industry as per se. Uh, Even the few hotels in Penjim have been getting business. Like I tell you, the business which are coming in are, of course, five-star hotels wherein the safety standards are good. There people are coming in. Now there are people who have come, have stayed in the COVID care center, or the compulsory quarantine, and they want to stay for further few days. So in the smaller hotels in Goa, where they are reasonable, Panjim specific, I can tell you, they are staying in those hotels. So that way, small way it is started in. This is the time. Besides, what we are not asking in the monetary benefit as such, but what we are saying that what we are like, they are charged for waste when there is no waste in panchayat area or municipality area, because the restaurants are closed, and those are quite high. Like different panchayats have different charges. It goes up to 2,000 rupees per room in the North Goa, one of the few belts, which is like if you have 100 rooms hotel, so 2,000 into 100, that is per month garbage charges. I think this type of small things which if they have to consider, because actually these services are not utilized. So besides that, we have asked for on the what you call monetary means on this fund. As far as what you were talking about, there is this green tribunal certification which Goa government have made. They are working on that, wherein they will give that this is international. I think I don't get the correct word. If Jack can uh, uh, have that exact word for it. It is from the tourism, from the international tourism side, green hotels certification, which Goa government is trying to bring in, wherein the people who are applying the safety standards, they will give the certification. So which will say that these hotels are safe as per the norms required to operate, all the SOPs which they are following. And this will have to come once we think of opening international tourism in month of October, November, or December, as and how things pan up. Those certifications will be required to give more confidence to the tourism industry per se throughout the world to attract more tourists into Goa.
What about the foreign tourists? Now, both of you all in some way or the other, you from the tours and Jack, his place, a lot of people from
Uh,
abroad frequent. What about the
One
foreign
thing
tourists?
is good, there is a lot of positivity around Goa. Goa per se as a brand has its own value, own charm. So there are, in fact, there are major players in where let's talk about the charter tourists which are coming into. So there have been a lot of positivity in Scandinavian market, UK market, and from Russia. So there have been a lot of queries, though bookings are very slow. But I think fortunately Europe has opened up. The cases have dropped drastically. There means it is opening. UK is opening. So there has been a query, and similarly they find that overall the things in India are quite positive, especially even in Goa. The overall the cases are the recovery rate is quite high, mortality rate is quite low. So these are all are positive sides. So which will attract tourists to come into Goa. So I think when season come, we may not have that big number, but even if we are able to achieve 40% of the target what we have done last year, I think it should be a good thing. And as I said, the things are evolving, and daily we hear the vaccine is going to come from X day, Y day, or the medicine which are there are a lot of research which is going on. So I feel I'm very optimistic, and I think as time before international tourism season starts, I think we will have a substantial progress in all fronts in attracting tourists.
Jack, you have a contact. People are repeats at your place from abroad. People, foreigners, they keep on coming to your place. It's known. Have you? What is the type of feedback that you're getting from our guests from abroad, from other countries?
As of now, there have been no queries or anything. I think, like Nilesh said, it all is going to depend on how how things happen in Europe in the next 2 months, and also how our cases in India pan out in the next 2 months. They've been keeping on saying. First, they said our peak would be end May. Maybe the lockdown prolonged that peak, and it's come now. Hopefully, if at the end of August, by mid-August, the trend is towards declining cases, then international tourism might pick up. Of course, there's nothing like a vaccine if it comes, but I don't think it's going to come out till 2021. So, yeah, so basically how the cases are managed and if it comes down.
But vaccine, I don't know. According to ICMR, by 15th, vaccine is going to be out. So maybe we should look forward to that.
We all need to pray absolutely. We need to pray very hard for that.
In fact, the tourism industry will be the what to call the biggest gift from the government. Forget about any shops, anything. If they can actually start giving vaccine from the 15th August.
Actually, Nilesh, you have a very good point. Now, all these shops but I want to come back to another point. But all these shops and everything, if the government can actually concentrate and put everything on a proper cure, which is difficult because it's a virus. But anyway, treatment and vaccine, I think 98% of our problems will be solved. 2% are basically how to arrange finance and restart. What do you think?
Absolutely. In fact, main thing is, like even today, if we see, besides when this industry is opening, the backup is, how far our medical facility are able to gear up to take care of in case of eventuality. So let's be, realistic that, all these facilities will go hand in hand. And as you said, if we get some positive news, you can be rest assured that Goa will be the first state in India to get filled up.
Yes, I agree, but it all depends. This obviously a vaccine is going to come. Whether how effective it is or no, that will depend on time. But a vaccine will come because it's basically a race to who starts it first. But as of now, is finance an issue? Finance and labor, 2 points. Because labor, a lot of these utilities, waiters, many of them have gone back, and now to get them back is a little risky because in other parts of the country. the situation is pretty bad. Second thing, finance. Now banks, we know because we've spoken to a lot of people, even small time guys, if your OD is overdue, of your interest is like you overdue 1-2 months, you get a call. People are getting calls, and you get. So what are these? Is anything being done on these 2 points, which are very basic? Ultimately, finance. You can wait. The EMI thing was, I don't know what, but
I
what do
agree.
you feel?
I agree. In fact, that EMI government has given moratorium for 6 months, so that will get to end of by end of August. That the EMI which government is giving,
Wait, but
which is supposed.
stop. Let me stop you on that. Yes, they have given an EMI for 6 months, but I don't know. I'm sure you guys have done the calculations. It's a major cost to be added to your EMI. So how much sense does it make taking that EMI?
Uh, as we are aware, it is a matter of survival for all of us. So let's admit it right now. We are on the survival mode, and we are not talking about profits for next 1.5 years. Let me be rest assured. It may be
One and a
Jack
half
or it
year.
may be
One and
absolutely,
a half
because
year. Are you
uh,
are you
it
serious?
will take, yes, it will take time to get to the, even after vaccine coming in. You don't expect people just pouring in. It will it is good to be positive and optimistic, but let's be realistic. It will take some time, because how the things pan up, it will take some time. So that moratorium you are saying is fine, but it is at least something wherein we are able to, for the 6 months which they have given, the day to day is not there. So where we were able to take care of our people in the offices, in the tourism industry, in maybe in the restaurants and other places. Uh, Most of the hotels in Goa, or even the tour, everybody has retained their people who are from who are working in people from Goa. The people who have come on the transit or who were on the contractual labor, they have gone back. I understand they have gone back. 5,000 plus seafarers have come into Goa, and I think few more will come. So 7 to 8,000 seafarers have come into Goa. So there is an opportunity for them. People who and let's be realistic again, that it is going to take a while. They're going back to their cruise liners for job.
Cruises.
So
Yes.
from cruises where they have come from, and many of them may not start back also, those cruises, because the expenses are, there will be a lot of people who will go bankrupt, and let's be admit that a lot of people will have a lot of issues restarting it. So these people can be absorbed, and if they are willing to work, and I'm sure, because I believe that many of the hotels are getting a call that they are ready to work in the different fields, because as a Goan, we are hospital people, and they are working in the different segment of the segment. It may be housekeeping, it can be in the restaurants, it can be in the kitchen, or it can be at a managerial level. So looking into that, I think there's an opportunity for Goans also for to get into the becoming a more part of the industry, which is going to open up in a
Yeah,
big way. So I think there is an
Jack,
opportunity
we have,
expect to improve.
sorry, Nilesh, but Jack, I want
No.
some last ending from you because we are almost out of time. Could you give us your last on this, a little bit on this labor, maybe what you're looking forward, the way forward, what you're looking at in the past 1.5 years, which is what the timeline that Nilesh has given.
Yeah, like I agree with Nilesh. It's a question of survival. 1.5 years is a time when no profit is basically keeping your business going. And in terms of labor, as of now, labor is not an issue because there's not much business. Who's there is there. If demand picks up, then labor is going to become an issue. In terms of financing, government has that moratorium. It adds on to your cost, but it's basically to manage your cash flow. It says that you don't pay today, you pay a higher amount tomorrow. Hopefully, the money comes tomorrow for you to pay back. They have also, what they have done on a lower rate is they've given you 20% emergency funding, which is if you had say a outstanding of 10 lakhs on say end of March, you get 20% extra, which is say 2 lakhs at a very concessional rate of interest. So that is a good step they've taken. For that 1 year, you just pay the interest and the principal is paid later. So they've given something. I mean, it depends on each business. It depends on how you are stretched or whatever. If your cash flow is relatively good, you had money, you can survive longer. If not, you're in a bad shape. And a lot of businesses are in bad shape, especially restaurants.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Nilesh. Thanks, Jack. It's been informative and I mean, you guys have been very realistic, very cautious. Thank you
Thank you.
Thank you.
and keep watching Goa 365.